Growing up in a small town, Aidan always felt like he was running a race he could never win. Since childhood, he had been surrounded by high achievers. His older brother, Nathan, was a math prodigy, winning state-level competitions before he even turned 10. His best friend, Lucas, was a top athlete, breaking school records and earning scholarships from prestigious universities. On the other hand, Aidan struggled to find his place. Despite being hardworking and passionate about creative writing, he often felt overshadowed. Every achievement he made seemed insignificant compared to the grand accomplishments of those around him. His parents, despite their love, unknowingly contributed to his insecurities by frequently praising Nathan's intelligence and Lucas's athleticism. By the time Aidan entered high school, he had developed a habit of measuring his worth against others. He forced himself to participate in math competitions, even though numbers did not bring him joy like words did. He tried joining the athletics team, but found himself exhausted and uninspired. No matter what he did, he always felt like a shadow standing next to the bright lights of his brother and friend. One evening, after once again failing to impress his teachers in math, he sat in the library, staring blankly at his notebook. Overwhelmed with frustration and pressure, he began to write down his thoughts. Words flowed like a flood, his emotions spilling onto the pages. Before he even realized it, he had written a complete story, one that captured his pain, his longing, and his struggle to be seen. His teacher, Ms. Reynolds, noticed him writing and gently picked up his notebook. As she read, her eyes softened. "Aidan, this is beautiful," she said. "You have a special talent. Why are you trying to be something you're not?" Aidan shrugged. "Because I feel like who I am isn't enough." Ms. Reynolds sighed. "Do you know what happens if you compare a fish to a bird? The fish will always think of itself as a failure because it cannot fly, and the bird will always feel weak because it cannot swim. But both are incredibly special in their own way." This conversation changed Aidan's perspective. He realized that by constantly comparing himself to others, he was neglecting his own strengths and passions. That night, instead of forcing himself to study math, he picked up his pen and began writing again. This time not to prove himself, but to express himself. Slowly, Aidan stopped trying to fit into molds that weren't meant for him. He focused on his writing, joined the school's literary club, and eventually started submitting his stories to competitions. He didn't win every contest, but for the first time, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. Years later, while Nathan became a successful mathematician and Lucas a professional athlete, Aidan published his first book. Only then did he fully understand that life isn't about competing with others. It's about embracing your uniqueness. Looking back, he realized how much precious time he had wasted trying to match others when in reality, he had always been enough, just as he was.